Ladies and gentlemen, the third day of Donald Trump's hush money trial is happening right now, and the jury selection is underway. Over half of the jury pool has already been dismissed due to not being able to be unbiased. But the question, though, that really sticks out in your mind is if so many jurors have already been dismissed, many of them self-selecting and saying that they would have problems being fair, are there juries being selected who are actually biased but are hiding this? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to UnwokeThoughts. Now, this really is the question in everyone's mind, and probably especially Trump's mind and his lawyer's mind. And really, it is a fair question. This trial has been wrought with problems from the very start, and things have been exposed that make it clear that this trial has zero chance, no chance whatsoever of being fair. From the judge to the jury, red flags keep popping up. The judge himself has a daughter who has raised north of $100 million for the Democrats and has used his prosecution from her father's case as a talking point to raise some of this money. And the judge's wife has worked for New York Attorney General Letitia James, arguably the most outspoken public official against Donald Trump. Now it seems as if the jury pool may also have many problems. The honest ones, over half of the original pool, have said that they cannot serve on this jury without bias. But this leaves a question as to whether there are less scrupulous individuals who may be selected with certain goals in mind. Now, if you think that this is a conspiracy, it really is not. This is already happening. There was a juror, this was juror number 4, who made it through the first round of jury selection, who indicated, initially, he indicated that he found Trump, quote, fascinating and mysterious, who was later found to have engaged in political vandalism against the right.
That this has to do with something that very well could have been the fact that this juror may have been arrested back in the 1990s conducting some type of political vandalism against posters on the right, and it was not revealed, or he did not remember it and did not include it, and that is why that juror has been dismissed.
So at this point, we really don't know what this political vandalism was. Apparently, this juror ripped down posters, and from what I have read, he was arrested for this. But if you are someone who is on the left committing political vandalism against, right-wing posters, it's easy to kind of conclude that you probably are not a big fan of Donald Trump. But this is what this juror number 4, said when he was asked if he was going to be able to be unbiased in this trial. Now, if you look right here, number 4, this is a list of all the jurors so far that we have in this trial. But number 4 says the 4th juror is an older Puerto Rican man who's married with adult children and 2 grandkids. When asked about his hobby, he said, "I guess my hobby is my family." He has an IT business for training and consulting and attended 1 year of college. He told the court that he finds Trump fascinating and mysterious. Then he said, "So many people are set off one way or the other, and that is interesting," the man said. "Really, this one guy can do all of this. Wow." And then he said that Trump makes things interesting. The man said, but he also didn't indicate any strong feelings about his politics. So a man like this, he sounds like he's saying all of the right things, right? He sounds like he's saying good things about Donald Trump. But when the lawyers looked into his past, they found some things that were in stark contrast to what he is saying now. But the post-millennial is talking about this. They say, breaking, second Trump juror dismissed after it was revealed he was arrested for anti-conservative vandalism. Another juror was dismissed from the Donald Trump New York jury on Thursday, bringing the total number sworn in to 5 after it was revealed that he had a prior arrest for vandalizing right-leaning political advertisements. According to Fox News, juror number 4 was selected on Tuesday in DA Alvin Bragg's fraudulent business documents case against Trump and was dismissed by Judge Juan Merchan on Thursday. This is the video that we just watched, but a prosecutor from Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's office said the man had been arrested in Westchester, New York in the 90s for tearing down political advertisements that were right-leaning. He said, quote, "I actually believe the propaganda that was being ripped down was political posters that were on the right, the political right," said prosecutor Joshua Steinglass. After additional research, Steinglass said that it also appeared that the juror's wife had previously been accused of or involved in a corruption inquiry that required a, quote, deferred prosecution agreement with the district attorney's office. On the questionnaire delivered to prospective jurors, They were asked whether they or someone close to them have ever been arrested, and the juror did not disclose this. So he didn't disclose whether or not he or someone close to them had been arrested, and he also didn't disclose the fact that, he had vandalized conservative political posters, which is a massive red flag in a trial like this, because Donald Trump is on the right. He is the Republican nominee for the president of the United States. So you would think that someone like this would let them know, hey, at the very least, I think I can be unbiased, but back in the 90s, I got in trouble for ripping down conservative-leaning posters. But he didn't. And you got to question, are there any others being selected for this jury that are similar to this? But this comes after a woman was dismissed, telling the judge that she no longer thought she could be impartial and expressed concerns about her identity as a juror being revealed. But we also have another potential juror who was dismissed, and she actually has only very recently become an American citizen. And she said that she's not sure that a jury can be unbiased, because I guess she was talking amongst other potential jurors, and they all understood what this trial was about. They all understood the weight of this trial. And some of them, she said, were, kind of pumped to be on this trial, which is a massive red flag, because with all the TDS going around, you really want someone who was pumped to be on the trial, because then you got to question, why are they pumped to be on this trial? I mean, I guess I would be kind of excited to be on this trial if I had a part in it. But I think the jurors that you want on a trial are people that are generally disinterested. And this is really the problem with political trials, right? Because with someone with a name recognition of Donald Trump, someone who is a former president, people have very strong feelings, opinions either way about Donald Trump. So it's almost impossible to have a fair trial. So that's the big problem with political trials, and that's why these types of things are so unprecedented against Trump, because they are pretending like somehow, even through this process of jury selection, that they could have, some semblance of a fair trial. But really, when you think about it, I really don't think you could either way. I mean, if you had this trial in Alabama, you would have the left raving about Donald Trump not getting a fair trial. And then it's like the equivalent in New York City, except the other way around. So in one of the most liberal spots in the United States, Donald Trump is on trial. How can he get a fair trial there? But this article says, breaking, dismissed Trump jurors reveals what she discussed with other jurors, says she's not sure a jury can be unbiased. But a potential juror who was dismissed from Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's falsified business documents case against Donald Trump on Wednesday spoke with MSNBC after she left the court, speaking about how she talked with other jurors about the case. When asked about the jury's ability to be impartial, this is what she said. She said she's not sure that they will be able to rule impartially in a case against the former president. So yeah, this is the problem with political trials. People have strong political opinions, and that messes with their judgment. But when asked if she had any discussions with jurors when she left the room, the woman said that they spoke about how it's a historical case and how it's going to define so many things, but at the same time, our job as a juror is to be impartial, to be unbiased. She added that she had spoken with jurors who wanted to be selected for the case, saying they feel the duty to serve. So she spoke with jurors who wanted to be selected. So these are the people that I think that we should really keep an eye on. Jurors who want to be selected. But the woman told Fox News that she was dismissed because she raised her hand to indicate that she can't be unbiased. She said she couldn't explain further, saying it's a personal thing. And this is a lady who recently became a citizen of the United States. So maybe that had something to do with the reason why she said she couldn't be unbiased. But this right here is the interview that she did with Fox News. Listen.
Finally excused today.
Because I raised my hand that they can't be unbiased, partial.
And if you don't mind just kind of elaborating on that for me, why do you believe that you couldn't be unbiased?
No, it's a personal thing.
Okay,
Sorry
no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, she couldn't go into details about why she couldn't be fair in a trial against the former president, but she is off the jury now.
But she said she has recently become a U.S. citizen and has not voted in a U.S. presidential election. She added that she's not sure that an impartial juror could be put together for the case. The woman said that she and other jurors didn't know that the trial involved Trump until she entered the courtroom at 4 p.m. despite being at the courthouse since 9 a.m. She said she was shocked to find out the case, adding that everyone was frozen. She said that Trump would look around on occasion. She said her initial reaction to Trump was that he looked less orange, definitely like more yellowish. I saw Donald Trump at a rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin very recently. And, that's actually a good point. He doesn't look quite as orange in person. I think somehow the cameras bring that out because he probably used some sort of, I don't know. What do you guys think he used? Some sort of bronzer? But it doesn't look as orange if you see Donald Trump in person. And then she also added, he doesn't look angry. I think he looks bored, like he wants to get this finished and go do his stuff. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he wants to go campaign. He's in the middle of an election season, an election cycle. He's running for president. He has spent tremendous amounts of resources in this election. So being in this courtroom and having to sit in this courtroom, because remember, he has to sit here every single day, or else there's a threat of him going to jail for 30 days, per Judge Juan Merchan. But the woman said she knew he was going to be on trial, but hadn't followed the case in the news. Jury selection began on Monday and is ongoing. The court did not meet on Wednesday. 5 jurors of the 12-person jury have been selected, and alternates need to be chosen as well. One woman was dismissed from the jury on Thursday after being selected when she expressed concerns about her ability to be impartial and her identity being revealed, bringing the selected jurors down to 6. Another man was dismissed who previously was selected after questions were raised about the man's responses, and the prosecution found that he had a prior arrest. So this is the one we just talked about a second ago. But on Wednesday, 48 potential jurors were dismissed when they indicated that they could not be impartial, according to NBC News. So this is what I mean. So there were 48. I believe there was 100 a little over 100 initial jurors. 48 of these initial jurors in the jury pool self-selected, and they said, listen, I can't be impartial in this. These are the honest ones, right? These are the ones probably that we might want to be on the jury, because these are the ones who actually are honest. The ones that are left, we really don't know, because this is a political trial. Donald Trump is a political figure in politics right now, is so polarized that it's really hard to imagine anyone, not having a bias one way or another against Trump or for Trump. That's the issue. And that's why these political trials shouldn't happen like this. But yet they do, because the Democrats are faltering against Donald Trump right now. He is leading in the polls. They got to try to bring Donald Trump to their level because Joe Biden just is not looking very good to the American people. So they got to tie him up in courts. They got to bog him down in this trial, prevent him from going out and campaigning. And this is their plan. This is what they're trying to do in order to get a leg up in the election. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about these jurors? Do you think that Donald Trump can get a fair trial? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.